You are listening to Wilhelm, a film-centric podcast for film lovers of all kinds. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Wilhelm. I am your host, Ben Beck, and with football season in full swing, it's time to talk about the gridiron. That's right. On this episode, we are revealing and talking about our top 5 favorite football films, and that's a lot of F's in a row. I just realized that. Yes, it is. But to do that, I need my guest. So please welcome back to Wilhelm, the host of the Field to Screen podcast. For now, anyway. We'll talk about that. My friend, Alex Balish. Alex, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for wanting to talk some football, because we are definitely in a frenzy of football fun and in the fall.
Frivolity.
In frivolity, exactly. In frivolity.
I figured you were going with that F theme again. So
absolutely, absolutely.
I'll add it on. Yeah, I mean, you know, you were one of the few people I thought of to do these football films, because you and I have talked on Facebook, another F. We've talked on social media about different football movies that we love, but we never revealed like absolute favorites. So it works out because we're going to do our top 5 and we haven't revealed them to each other as usual.
And what's nice is we actually did a podcast about, you know, one of our favorite movies, Little Giants. So
that's one that I'm pretty sure will probably be both in our top 5.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to definitely be up there. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we did an episode of your podcast, Field to Screen, about a particular football movie, which we'll save it for when it comes up in one of our lists, because I'm sure it will.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there was only one other person I could think of I would want to do this topic with, but unfortunately he just did not get back to me in time. Mm-hmm. And you were my first pick anyway. So when you said
I'm the first pick.
So when you said yes, I was like, okay, it's set. It's set in stone. And the other guy he's if you've ever watched the television show Gotham, right. He played Solomon Grundy in the TV show Gotham. It's my buddy Drew Powell. He's a huge Indianapolis Colts fan, loves football. So I did throw the idea out to him in time, and he got back to me, but not fast enough.
Well, anytime you want to talk again with him and we have a round table, I would be more than happy to talk to him. I know you like to have one guest, but I'd be more than happy to talk to.
Hey, last week for the musicals, we did 2.
So I'm down for whatever you got, because as I've told you before, this is one of the easiest podcasts and the most fun podcasts I get to work on.
I appreciate it. I really, really do. Let's jump into it then, shall we?
You got it.
So as always, if you're new to the podcast, I got to give you just a little heads up to the format. We're going to reveal our top 5, but I got to let you know, neither Alex or myself has revealed or discussed any of our choices beforehand. It's not to influence one another. So Alex doesn't know my top 5 and vice versa. I don't know any of his. And of course, just a fair warning, if you haven't seen one or multiple of the movies we mentioned, there's always a possibility of spoilers. So just be forewarned about that ahead of time. That being said, let's get into our top 5 favorite football films. We've discussed frivolity. No, I can't. It's too many.
Okay.
I tried extending it as many F words as possible without just throwing the word fuck in there. And it just
exactly. Yeah, effing screwed it up.
It didn't work out. Top 5 favorite football films, starting with number 5. Alex, what have you got?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we could have done the top 20 and I still wouldn't have enough room, but
it's another tough category.
I know. I mean, you know, when we did the Disney villains, it was like, all right, every villain is awesome. Just about every movie is awesome except for one that I know of. But that being said, one of my favorite movies, and it's a true story, is Radio.
Oh, great choice.
I mean,
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Anytime you can get Ed Harris, it's great. And every time you can get Cuba Gooding Jr., I mean, it's even better. For those of you that don't know, it's a true story about Harold Jones and Radio Kennedy. He's a special needs kid that in high school nobody could figure out what was going on with him, and he always carried this radio around. And Ed Harris's character, who was a teacher as well as the football coach, befriended him, understood how to translate his language, so to speak, and they became great friends. And he was he was part of the football team until he died. He died, I believe, recently in the last 5 years, I believe. And he brought the best out of radio, and I think radio brought the best out of him as well as everyone else. Because you have to remember, back then, it was in the early 60s, the height of, racial tension, not to mention he was special needs. So he went from that to being a focal point of that program. And I just think it's amazing. You laugh, you cry. It's better than Cats kind of show. And I mean, every time I watch it, I'm like bawling like a schoolgirl, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is awesome. I love it. And it's got, and what's nice is it's wrapped around in football. So, yeah, that's my number 5.
No, that's a good choice too. And again, that's actually one that I didn't even think to add to my honorable mentions list, because it should be in my honorable mentions list. Mm-hmm. It's a movie I haven't seen in a while, actually, that I probably should add to that list of movies I'm revisiting.
And we all know you have a long list of movies.
Oh, it keeps growing every week.
Every freaking day. I mean, yes. Jesus Christ.
I'm never going to get caught up at this point. But
Me too. Me too.
I got to push through it.
I know.
So for my number 5, it's a little hard to handle because I don't want your life. I went with Varsity Blues. I know a lot of people dig on this movie just because of the story behind it and the acting. Some people, say like the acting's horrible in it. It's honestly a movie that I will watch. I can watch it like every month. At least once a month.
It's a great movie.
I think it's so well done. Like, and it really captures, for anybody that doesn't know, like football in Texas, like it's God. It is. It's gospel. I mean, exactly. It's been portrayed in so many movies how popular football in Texas really is. But if you've ever been there, their stadiums have suites. Their stadiums, Friday Night Lights is not by accident. That term, that's where it came from. Yeah. So, I mean, when you take, when you take a football town like East Canaan, Texas, and you tell a story about it with all these characters and how serious they take football and what it means to them in their lives, like, yeah, this is really what it's like in Texas. Well,
you have to remember with a lot of these movies, and I actually did this. This is one of my first movies that I did on my podcast. So I know a little bit about, I did the research on it. First off, a lot of these movies are like this, but the people, whether you grow up like it being part of a town and being part of that team, those games that you lived, win, lose, or draw, is what you live for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And those are those games. I mean, and what's funny, and I don't know if you knew this or not, it was MTV's first movie.
Yep. I did know that. It was the first film production they ever put on.
Which is kind of interesting. And then you look at who's in it. Scott Kane, Paul Walker, Jason Vanderbeek, Yeah. I mean, it's just like a star-studded cast.
John Voight.
Exactly.
Amy Smart. It's an incredible cast. And a young cast, which is, with the exception of John Voight, obviously.
Right.
Which was indicative of a MTV film.
I mean, it was great on all sides. I mean, the one guy, the big guy, had a pig for a pet, and it was crazy.
Named?
Oh,
Bacon.
Bacon, yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God, duh. Yeah, it was just so funny.
I love that dog.
I love that dog. Yeah, exactly. And then they had the whipped cream bikini.
The whipped cream bikini man became incredibly popular in college because of Varsity Blues.
Absolutely. And it should. And I think they need to bring that back.
Ali Larder.
Yes, that was her first movie.
Was it her first film?
I think it was either her first or second.
It was early. It was really early.
I mean, and something, the girl doesn't age, so she looks as good now as she did then.
Yeah, she was just on The Rookie last season. So
Yeah.
yep, she still looks great.
There you
But
go.
it's such a great movie to watch. Um, and it just shows the importance of football in Texas.
Absolutely.
And I loved it. So I don't care. People can dig on it all they want. I'm a fan.
Absolutely.
So it made my top 5. Number 4 for you.
I was gonna go with this as an honorable mention, but you gotta love this movie, and that's Wildcats with Goldie Hawn, and talk about another star-studded cast. It's got Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. Who else does it have? Nipsey Russell as the principal, and he's always trying to sell that brittle, and he always goes right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so funny, and she was perfect. It was at the height of goldiness, and I mean, the whole story is she was her father was a football coach, and he had died, and she wanted to be a football coach because she knew football her whole life, and she gets this job at this inner city worst school ever, and turns out, she makes him a winner. And the best thing I love about it is the cadence. It's like, I forget, it was like, 1st and 10, your mother's a whore. It's like all these stupid things that are just like so bad. But and every time they won, they'd have a party. So we could finally have some victory parties, Nipsey Russell would say. And she was a single mom. She was a divorced mom, and there was a whole conflict with the ex-husband. But the funny thing is, it's just breaking down the barriers, and I just love it. And that's my number 4.
Yeah, I completely forgot that Woody Harrelson was in that movie. I remembered Wesley Snipes because Michaelette Williamson is also in that movie.
Yes.
As well as Jan Hooks, I think, from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is in the movie.
She's the step monster.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. She's the step monster.
It's a movie I really need to go back and again add to the list of movies I need to rewatch because it's been over a decade at least since I've seen Wildcats.
Right.
But it's a great choice. And it actually was on my honorable mentions list. Was Wildcats.
Of course. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. So I can.
So what do you got for 4, my friend?
My number 4 is a movie that I know I took a piece from when I created. For those of you that don't know, I helped Alex with his theme music for Field to Screen. And I took a clip from this movie and added it into it. And I went with Remember the Titans.
Yes.
I almost feel it's sacrilege that it's at number 4 and
it kind of is, but
yeah.
No, and I say that myself because when I was putting my list together, I didn't even know where to put it. It just needs to be there.
Yeah. But I mean, so obviously, okay, so it's going to be in your top 5 list too. So I won't go into too much detail.
No, please do. No, you put it in there. Please go.
But we'll talk a little bit more about it when it gets to you too. So I'll focus on the cast.
Okay.
Because the cast to me is one of the it is one of the most incredibly casted football movies I have seen because there's so many names in this movie. Obviously you've got Denzel and Will Patton, but you've got Ryan Hurst, who we know from Walking Dead fame now.
Yes.
Donald Faison, Hayden Panettiere, Ethan Suplee, Kip Pardue, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
There's so many names in this movie, and it is such an incredibly inspirational story, a true story.
Absolutely.
So I won't dive into too much detail.
No, please do, because that was my number 3 anyways. So we're gonna start talking about it anyways. So
we're just gonna go right into it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go right into it. So you just might as well go.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about the cadence, like you mentioned with Wildcats, the We Are the Titans cadence from when they're coming out onto the field, and,
right?
And what's funny is, I mentioned, I forgot Kate Bosworth is in the movie too.
Oh yeah. She's the love interest.
She's Jerry's love interest in the beginning of the movie. But, and speaking of with Ryan Hurst, I didn't realize until maybe a year or so ago, that was Ryan Hurst from The Walking Dead.
Really?
Because I'm so used from Sons of Anarchy and The Walking Dead of seeing him fully bearded out and like long hair that I didn't put two and two together until somebody was like, that's the Ryan Hurst from Remember the Titans, right? I was like, holy shit. I didn't realize it.
Now, on the other end, I never saw Sons of Anarchy. That's just not something I was into. So I've always known him from Remember the Titans. And then when he came on to Walking Dead, I'm like, wow, that's a change.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see the in-between thing. And what a great actor. And I just, oh my God. This is, again, it's a Walt Disney movie. It's a sports movie. It just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, if you can't tell I'm gushing, it's just such a good movie.
Gush away, my friend. It's a movie worth gushing over.
You've got William Patton, who gives probably one of the best speeches when it comes to, I don't care what sport it is. I thank you for doing my intro.
That's the speech I took for your intro.
Exactly. And I know I'm fanboying on my own podcast, but it's so neat because I'll just play the intro, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like pumped up because they did something that was just amazing. Now, there are some criticisms of the movie that it wasn't as accurate. Mm-hmm. Like the whatchamacallit, the graveyard scene didn't really happen, and they were not. First off, they were never close in score for any of their games. And when this actually took place, it was a couple of years after they were integrated, so it was kind of like a combination of years. And but in terms of the story, it was just so I love the juxtaposition between the two girls, and the William Patton's daughter.
Cheryl and Carol.
Yeah. And they were just so. The one was such a girly girl, and the other was basically Goldie Hawn when she was a baby in Wildcats.
She was a tomboy.
Exactly, and she knew more football than anybody else, and I loved when she would battle with Denzel, about stuff. And but I think it's really kind of interesting how football was back then, and it still is a little bit because being a ref, you kind of know, but there's coaches that you like, there's coaches that you don't like, or whatever else. And it was neat how he gave up the Hall of Fame for his team. William Patton. He was slated, and he knew there was a bigger thing. And what I love is how they wrapped up the beginning and the end of it was around our favorite linebacker's death. And I think that's really kind of interesting. And he became such a successful Olympian. Ryan Hurst's character in real life became an Olympian for the Paralympics.
Yeah.
And
after his accident.
After his accident, and I mean, which was tragic. You don't. People just don't. That just doesn't happen, and it did. But again, star-studded cast when they were all young. I don't think Scrubs was out yet, was it?
I think so. Remember the Titans was 2000. I don't know what time frame Scrubs was,
but it was after.
I want to say this was before Scrubs,
and it was after. It was after Clueless, clearly.
Yes.
And so, I mean, he was a name, and I just loved all the different dynamics that happened. And I think they just hit it out of the park. There's a lot of criticism on the movie because I do a lot of research on this movie in terms of all the factualness of it. But you know what? You don't watch it for the factualness. You watch it as a body of work that just makes you pumped up, awesome, laugh, cry, and everything because that's the way.
And that's what Hollywood does. I mean,
exactly.
Hollywood's going to take a story, and that's why it says based on a true story.
Absolutely.
Or inspired by a true story in the beginning instead of like everything. If it was factual, it would be a documentary. I mean,
absolutely.
They're going to take creative license with whatever story that they can get. I mean, you look at, we did the musical episode last week and my number one was The Greatest Showman, which I love that movie to death. Like that movie inspired me, but in real life, P.T. Barnum was a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
So, but that doesn't mean you can't make a great, you
The
can't take that creative license to make a great story from a shitty one.
Speaking of that, I was listening to the making of Hamilton, and Lin-Manuel always used to say, yes, the love interest is wrong because he never had any interest in Angelica, but you know what? We had to kind of move it along with everybody meeting because we got to get out by Les Mis. We got to rush this thing along. So if things happen, it's my interpretation.
There are so many historical inaccuracies in Hamilton, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it is an amazing show.
Done more for Broadway and history and
for entertainment.
Exactly. And that's what this movie has done too. Yep. Because a lot of these movies, yes, they're over the top or they're this or they're that, but you know what? As someone that's been on the field or in any capacity, this is what you think about.
Yeah,
these are the kind of tonight we're going to remember they're going to remember the Titans. God. I don't want you to get an inch. I'm still thinking of it because
that speech, man, is you're right. Like I get chills even thinking about that speech.
Absolutely,
because like there are two moments in that film, and I know we're spending a lot of time on numbers, my number 4 and your number 3, but still, it's worth it because it's an amazing movie. That speech always gets me hyped up because it's such an amazing speech. And very clearly, obviously, Bill Yost did not say those exact words.
Oh, of course not.
It was written by a Hollywood writer.
Oh, absolutely. No.
That's fine because it gets you pumped up. But the other time is with Julius and Jerry when you think they're going to fight.
Yep.
But they just start slapping each other with the strong side. And that scene, man, is another scene that like, I get so fucking hyped.
Of course.
When I watched those two scenes, because they're so good.
But that was a turning point.
Yeah.
And they realized, you know what? Everybody's against us, so we might as well be on board with everybody. And that's football is a weird sport. Because my old football coach used to say it defies the elements. You start in the summer and you end in the freezing cold. And
it's accurate.
And this is going to sound very macho-ly sexist, but this is what men do. And it's hard. And if you want to play football, that's fine. But not everybody can do it. And not everybody can do it really well because it's so hard. And you're in that box and somebody's coming at you. And I don't care what you do. You either got to stop it or you're going to get run over. And there's not too many things in life where that's the case. And I know I'm getting a little too rah-rah on you, but that's why I get so pumped up. Because at the end of the day, when I was coaching, I had a kid he never came to practice. Well, you know what? I can't put you on the field. You're going to get hurt.
To quote another football movie, that's why girls don't play the game.
Exactly. And you know what? Sports in general, and that's why I love the podcast that I do, but I love talking sports movies is because it teaches you more about life. And I'm not just saying, it teaches you so much about life, about working with a team, working with people, knowing your limitations, all these different types of things. And that's what makes it so wonderful. And what I find so amazing is, they got the best out of the best, because these were two schools that were really good. You bring them together, it's like an all-star team.
Yeah.
And it's just unbelievable how a special man really did a special thing.
Well, and on that note too, and then we'll move on to the next movie, but you're right. Like a special man did a special thing, but I don't want that phrase to take away from the impact that Coach Boone was Denzel. But Will Patton's character had as well.
What I mean by that is Denzel or Coach Boone didn't alienate him.
He treated him equal.
That's the thing. My point being is that special man, if it was reversed, this would be a different movie.
Absolutely.
And my point being is it was a special man bringing all the pieces together. And that part of it is that Yost had to come and realize that Boone's not trying to take his job. He wants the best out of Yost. which is a pretty damn good football coach. And once he realized that, what did he say? He said, "Stop your crap on the sideline with the ref."
Oh, with the ref, yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So that's the kind of stuff that if the roles were reversed, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing. I mean, the greatest leaders in the world are not the people that do everything. They don't micromanage. They let the people do what they're trained to do. And Yost was a great head coach, but he was a great defensive coordinator. And that's where, as long as he stayed in his lane with Boone, he worked on his side, he worked on the other side, and they worked really well together at the end.
Yep.
So,
all right. So that was your number 3.
I think so. Yes, I think we exhausted that. That could have been, that could have been whatever. So, what's your next one?
So my number 3 is actually a movie that you and I have talked about in length in the past. I went with Little Giants.
Oh wow.
I had to, because this movie, man, again, you and I did an episode of Field to Screen on Little Giants, and we'll put aside the one flaw I think the movie has, which you kind of picked on me a little bit about.
Yeah.
But putting all of that aside, looking at the movie as a whole, this movie is funny, it's inspirational, and more than anything, it has so much heart. Like, I think more than almost any other football movie I have seen. And it's not just because it involves kids. Like, this is the only kids football movie that is on my list of top 5.
Right.
But you have Rick Moranis, you have Ed O'Neill, and then you have the amazing cast of kids that are part of this movie. And again, this movie has so much heart. And the one thing I love about this movie more than anything else is that this movie hit me differently older as it did when I was younger. When I was younger watching this movie, I was rooting for the kids, and I'm like, yeah, like, these kids are me. That's it. And then the older I got, the more I started seeing things from the parents' side, and like, it was fun seeing them score the touchdowns and everything. But I got so much more emotional watching this movie as an adult, like, not even having kids, but not even having had kids of my own, but knowing people who do, and having dated people with kids and getting a little taste of parenthood through that aspect. Watching this movie, like, seeing these parents and the pride, like, when they see their kids score a touchdown or make that catch, or like, I get so much more emotional watching the parents watching this movie now than I ever do the kids.
Oh, it's having my daughter now that she's 6 and she's starting to play sports. I crack up because as an official, getting yelled at and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm cracking up because these parents are like getting all into it and whatever. I'm like, it's 6-year-old soccer. Like, we don't need to be yelling. Now, I do yell at my kid when she's waving at me and the ball's right in front of her foot. I'm like, get the ball. But other than that, you're right. And it's so much fun because, these parents, they want the best for their kids. Who doesn't want the best for your kid? Mm-hmm. And what I love about the story, I mean, there's a lot that I love about the story, but the fact is, it's brother against a brother, and the kids versus kids, and it's just a feel good movie. There's just nothing about it that's bad, except for that one thing that we don't want to talk about.
We won't bring that up. If you want to know what we're talking about, go find Field to Screen and listen to the Little Giants episode.
Exactly,
which you should do anyway. But
exactly,
if you want to hear what it is, go ahead and listen to that episode. But like, not only that, I love the fact that it's a family film, and I don't just mean from the aspect of like, this is a movie you can watch with your family.
No. I know what you mean.
This is a legit family film. Like you said, it's brother against brother. It's it's niece versus uncle. But even though they're against each other, you can tell that this is a family that, while they have their differences when it comes to football, still love each other, still look out for one another.
And it came out in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. When Ed O'Neill's character says that to Butts, or not Butts. I forget the character's name.
Moose or.
Yeah. If you've seen the movie, you know the scene.
Yeah, I know. We should know this, but
yeah. But when he comes out and he go, like, because the one guy pulled the play against
the dad,
the kid on. Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah. We don't play football like that. Like,
right. No, I get it. I totally get it. And the scene that we both talked about was at the diner or whatever it was.
Yes.
And of course,
Such an amazing scene.
I mean, he basically he consoles his niece, even though he's the rival coach, because you know what? That's his niece, and that's what you do. And that's what this comes down to. You know, you were always beautiful, or whatever it was, and
oh no, it's when Becky asks her Uncle Kevin, like, do you
right.
think I'm pretty? And he's like, no, I think you're beautiful. And
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, Kevin's not as big of a douchebag as we think he is.
No,
like
no.
he's still a loving uncle, and
of course, and that's what it's all about.
It's so great.
You know, this is where my list gets really muddled because, you know, being as old as I am, you're 50 years old. There's too many movies, and one of the first movies I ever saw, and I think it's because my sister really loved the main actor. They did a remake of it, and that's Heaven Can Wait.
Is this your number 2?
Yeah, this
okay,
is my number
perfect.
2. And you know, it's such a good movie. Warren Beatty's in it, Julia Christie,
Buck Henry,
yeah. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of
Buck Henry directed. Sorry, Buck Henry wasn't in it.
You know, and Jack Warren, Charles Grodin. You know, so basically, what happens
James
is
Mason.
Oh, yep. The Los Angeles Rams quarterback, you know, he dies, and then he gets taken over he takes another body, and the Rams, it's during the Rams 79 season, and he ends up going to the Super Bowl. And it's just amazing. He plays. The one thing I always remember, he always played the clarinet. It was a straight. He had played the clarinet, or no, it was a sax, but it was a straight sax,
alto sax. Yep.
Yeah, and it just was a great fictional Super Bowl win, and just a lot of when he finds out that, I just remember when they find out that it's really him. You know, that he's a good that his body is a different body than the person inside, and it's just a lot. It's just a great 70s kind of juxtaposition. And then he ends up getting his wings because he does everything that he needs. But I just love the movie. It always put a smile on my face, and it may not be my number 2, but it needs to be at number 2 because it's one of the first movies that when it comes to football, I just love.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, those movies that you remember seeing for the first time, or are those movies that you remember being one of the first movies you've ever seen, definitely have a place. I mean, they stick with you. It's one of the reasons why last week I put Little Shop of Horrors as number 5 in my top 5 for the musical episode, because it was, as far back as I can remember, the first musical I ever saw, and it stuck with me for that reason. So I totally understand, like, Heaven Can Wait.
I'm just saying. And they did do a remake, and I know remakes are never as good as the original. Yeah, they did, and it's just, you know what, it just wasn't the same. So
I don't ever remember a remake.
I think they did a remake. I'm almost 90% sure.
See, I remember actually going back and watching Heaven Can Wait because of Buck Henry. For those people that don't know, Buck Henry was actually the writer and creator, along with Mel Brooks, of Get Smart.
Yeah,
the television show, which as a young kid, I loved Get Smart. And even though, like, that humor was kind of I don't know what it was about Get Smart. Like, kids my age were not watching Get Smart. They were watching, you know, cartoons and like other Nickelodeon shows. And I was watching and enjoying Get Smart. And it's still a show to this day that I love. So I remember going to check out Heaven Can Wait because of Buck Henry.
There you go.
But I do remember really enjoying Heaven Can Wait.
Right.
It's just been a really long time since I've seen it.
All right. So what's your next one?
My number 2. I'm going not back as far as Heaven Can Wait, but I'm going back pretty a good ways. 1991, a little football movie starring Scott Bakula and Sinbad. I'm going with Necessary Roughness.
Great movie. That is, and you know what? That was definitely in my honorable mentions.
And I think, and thinking about it, I think Necessary Roughness might be in my top 5, might be my number 2. Actually, maybe for one of the same reasons it's your number 2. is because, like, yes, it's 1991, and at that time I was 12, I think.
Right.
But I think like it is one of the first football movies I ever remember watching.
Right.
You like I said, Scott Bakula, Hector Elizondo, Kathy Ireland.
Wait. Let's just stop right there. The most beautiful person ever in the world.
Sinbad,
like,
I know.
No.
Oh.
I mean, oh my God. She could read the phone book to me till this day. And there's no phone books, I know. But she could still read it to me. And I know she's like married, has many kids. She's got but oh my God, she's still amazing.
Kathy Ireland is still gorgeous to this day.
Oh my God. We could have a whole podcast on that, but let's move on.
Still gorgeous to this day. But yeah, I mean, you look at the cast again from, like I said, Scott Bakula, Sinbad, Robert Loggia, Fred Thompson, Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman was in it.
A young Jason Bateman was in this movie. It's one of those movies that, again, maybe I shouldn't have seen at that age.
Probably not.
But I don't really think, actually, come to think of it, I don't think it's that bad.
No.
I think it's maybe PG-13. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was right around the age to be able to watch that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's one of the first movies it's one of the first football movies I ever really remember ever watching. So maybe that's why it stuck with me for this long.
Okay.
And it's just, oh God, the movie is so much fun. If you've never seen it, it's one to look for. And it's one
just exactly.
One to search for it.
And the sad part about a lot of these movies, and I say this, you have to take them in their context. Like us growing up then, it's even more funny, but you look at it now under today's eyes, you might not find it as funny, but it really is that funny.
It really still is that funny.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just so bad. So what happens is, folks, is they're like an Alabama, I would say University of Miami, but they were like an Alabama.
No, Texas State.
I'm just saying, but they're a top of the world type of school.
Yes.
I'm saying,
yeah.
And they lose everything. They lose all their players. They got all this stuff because they get stripped of everything. And then, they bring in Hector Elizondo's character to revitalize the program, and he has like the B squad or the C squad, and then away you go. And Scott Bakula, who looked 100 years old then. I mean, I don't mean that.
He looked like he was probably in his 50s then.
Compared to now.
Yeah.
Did you, by the way, on a side note, did you see the Emmy thing with him?
With who? Bakula?
Bakula. He was in one of the commercial, like they had like a little skit, and it was all these people that never won an Emmy, and he was in there.
Oh, no, I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah, you have to look for it because
look for it.
Yeah, he's like, I've been doing this 47 years or 43 years. And then George Costanza's like, I've been doing this 47. I was doing this during the kid, and I still haven't got an Emmy. So
Bakula's somebody I would love to have on the Spotlight podcast.
Oh, please. I mean, I got to tell you, I was late to Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah.
And I still don't know why they canceled it. I mean,
it was really well. I mean, it took, I'd say, like, I know we're getting off topic, but it took maybe like a season or two to get
exactly.
Into.
But it was
every Star Trek show took a season or two to get into.
But the thing is, you look at all the Star Wars type stuff, like all the stuff that they're producing now, it's only enhanced everything else. And that was such a good backstory that, It's too bad Disney Plus doesn't have that franchise because they could have really revised.
Paramount Plus has it.
Yeah. Hopefully they can do something with it, which I know has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
See, I was a big fan of Scott Bakula, obviously from Quantum Leap.
Of course, which was a great show.
But I was also excited when he came into the television show Chuck.
Okay.
As Zachary Levi's father.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was a huge fan of Chuck. I still am a huge fan of Chuck. So when he came in as that familiar face that I knew, I was like, yep, I'm excited about this.
That's awesome.
So
I guess I have
this. But yeah, that's going to bring us to your number one pick.
And I've been debating this because it's just like, I know if I say one thing, it's not going to be good. If I say no, I mean, I'm saying this in my head, not, whatever I say. I'm going to go with this one. And my top 5 is more like 5 movies that I really like, a lot. And
Can I guess?
Sure.
Is it Rudy?
No, it's not Rudy. I have a better one that has to do with Notre Dame. I just don't care for that movie at all. I know I'm the only non Notre Dame fan that doesn't like that. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Draft Day.
That's not a bad choice.
No, it's not. But we did it on the podcast, and that's why it is probably the most realistically unrealistic movie ever, and we rail it, but I love every second of it. It's basically the Cleveland Super Bowl that they've never had, because it's the most exciting thing that they've had in the last 50 to 60 years. What I love about it more than anything is that Kevin Costner thought that this was like the greatest movie ever, and it's a good movie, but there's a lot of problems with the movie, but you can go and check out. But in terms of the last scene is so much fun, the way he wheels and deals it, and again, it's very unrealistic. But make the deal, you pancake motherfucker, as he likes to say. You pancake eating motherfucker. But it's just so much fun. I mean, if you feel like you're in the middle of that draft, and they took a lot of storylines from actual drafts, where people are dropping and things like that. And it's just, I mean, I have it on my DVR. I DVR'd it a while back, and I still have it because I just watch it, just the one couple of scenes that I like. And it's one of those movies, and a lot of these movies that we talked about, if it's on, you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
And, it's like the Shawshank Redemption. It's always on, so you always want to pick up where you left off, kind of thing.
Always watch that movie.
I mean, any Kevin Costner movie, and, I guess maybe one of these days I got to have you on just to do Kevin Costner sports movies. But, I mean, it's just like everyone he's in is great. And he makes it great. And I love the story. I love Dennis Leary's in it. And he can't be any better than what he is, throwing the playbook into the fire, and it's just a feel-good movie that I love. The only issue I have with it is Jennifer Gardner's character was just so over the top. Like, nobody knows that much about football and talks about it that way. Every time she was splurting out different things. But other than that, I mean, she's great to watch, but I just didn't like the love interest that well. But, the main thing is the Browns finally won something.
You had me scared, man. Like when you were sitting there, like, I don't know if I should choose this one and everything. I thought you were going to choose like Air Bud Golden Receiver.
Well, that was my honorable mention.
Was that your other?
No,
was that your,
no. I mean, my honorable mentions are really not honorable mentions as much as the 1A, B, C, Ds of the world.
Do you really have Air Bud Golden Receiver in your honorable mentions?
I didn't even know that was a movie.
Yeah. It's another one with the golden retriever.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you got?
Golden receiver. So for my number one, when I was putting together my top 5 football movies list, this is the one movie that I did not question. Had to be at number 1 because no other football movie comes close to it for me. And that is The Replacements.
It's a great movie. It's one of the greatest movies ever.
It is, in my opinion, one of the greatest football movies ever made. I don't know what it is about that movie that makes it that way. Because, I mean, when you think of plot lines, we were just talking about Necessary Roughness and how you said like Texas State had got wiped clean of everything that they had and they had to bring in the B team. That's pretty much what The Replacements is as well. Oh. The A-list players went on strike.
Yep.
So rather than hire new players, they go out and they bring in replacement.
They bring in the scrubs.
People that will literally just play until the strike is over and then the A team comes back in.
Right.
But it's the stuff that the B team pulls off, that these replacement players pull off, that is such amazing and fun to watch. And not only that, but from within the confines of the movie, it's something that the A team has never done themselves.
Which is play like a team.
And that's make it to the playoffs against that team.
Right. Well, I mean, Shane Falco is one of the best quarterbacks ever. And he had one of the worst Sugar Bowls ever, but he was one of the best quarterbacks ever on that, during that time. And
he's a quarterback who let one bad game get to him
exactly
to end his career.
Right.
Where if he would have just pushed through it, he probably would have been successful, but the replacements is his second chance.
What I find also amazing is one of the greatest sports actors ever is in it, which is Gene Hackman. I mean, that's another podcast that we need to do. You could just do any Gene Hackman movie, and it's
Hoosiers.
Exactly. But it's got a lot of great lines. Again, we used one of those lines in the intro for my podcast. But
which one did we use? Did we use the pain hurts?
Yeah,
chicks dig scars.
Exactly.
Glory lasts forever.
That's what I thought. I mean, it's the greatest line.
Yeah.
Of the whole thing. I mean, I love when the guy throws up and they move the huddle to the left with the eggs.
Let's be happy. It's the first thing they did together all game.
Exactly. Wait. What's his name? John Favreau.
Yeah.
Favreau. He's the linebacker.
God.
And he's like nuts.
Bateman.
And wait, the best part is he's the cop, and then he gets along with the convict, and then the one guy tries to sit in there, and he's like, okay, but they have like their unwritten rules, and but yeah, I mean, that's the thing about seasons in general. What's pretty amazing about seasons in general, especially at that high level, you're with a team all season, and then once it's over, everybody's cleaning out their locker. That season, that team will never be again.
Well, I mean, and that's one of the best parts of that movie too, is the very end of the movie after they win the game, and like this is their last hurrah. This is the last play they're ever going to play in the major, in professional football. There's that voiceover at the end by Gene Hackman or Coach McGinty, where he's saying like there was no ticker tape parade, there were no endorsement deals, like this was pretty much it for them. They all simply went home,
got on a bus and went home.
But where everybody dreams of a second chance, these guys lived it.
Right.
And I find that so inspirational because it's absolutely right. There's so many people that wish they had a second chance at something in their life, whether it's a romantic partner or the big game or a work opportunity. Like there are people that wish they had a second chance. And this movie is literally the personification of a second chance.
What I also love about this movie more than anything is that, John Madden and Pat Summerall did the commentary. And, as a Giants fan growing up, when they were coming up, when John Madden was coming up everybody knows John Madden is who he is, but when they were coming up, they did the NFC East because they were on CBS. They did most of the Giants games, and it was just, since they haven't been together, Pat Summerall's obviously passed, but it was just like home, and it was just so nice to hear that. Yeah, exactly. And they're just, the thing is, they were the best of the best, and it was just nice to hear it. But again, great lines, great everything, and there's nothing bad about it. I was going to put it on my list and I just couldn't fit it with all the other stuff, but it's not because it's not one of my top movies. It's just I couldn't fit them all.
I think and like honestly, like there's so many great characters in that movie. You mentioned Jon Favreau as Danny Bateman, who's just absolutely crazy and batshit insane. You have David Benman, who played Brian Murphy, who anybody else who knows David Benman from The Office as Roy, but has no dialogue in the entire movie because he's deaf.
Right.
And one of my other favorite, putting aside Keanu Reeves as Shane Falco and Gene Hackman as Jimmy McGinty.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite characters is Orlando Jones as Clifford Franklin.
Isn't he great, though?
He's so good in this movie. Like when they're sitting down eating lunch and he sees Earl Wilkinson, who's the inmate that they brought.
No, I said that. Yeah.
And he's like, and he mentions like beating up the cops, and the next scene is him holding a butter knife to his cheek. He's like, allegedly.
Yes.
I don't even think he was in there. I think the cop hit him. I'm a
Oh,
cop.
Orlando Jones, I just wish he would do more stuff because he's just so funny.
He's actually in two of my favorite sports movies, and one of them, some people might not consider a sports movie, but he's the coach in Drumline.
Okay, that's I could do that as an honorable mention because it has to do with football, sort of. But yeah, he's
not
awesome.
really. It's more about the Drumline.
I know it is. I know.
Half
Halftime's game time. I know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, in that sense, yeah, it's very, very loosely based on football. But again, and he's excellent in Drumline.
Oh, he is. Well. I love it. I love his character.
So, but yeah, Clifford Franklin, man, is just
Which, so on a side note, I shocked you to tell you that there was a Drumline too.
You did. You did, because
it wasn't very good, but it's a nice little movie.
Yeah, that's
what it is. So
those are some great picks for our top fives, and yeah, I had to end it with the replacements because again, that's like
it's a no brainer. I mean, I was gonna go there, but there's just so many good movies, and it's just hard to pick.
Well, I mean, on that note, we both have some honorable mentions.
Yep.
We can go through these pretty quickly. We don't have to dive into them too deep.
That's fine.
What's one of your honorable mentions? We'll go one and one. So what's one of yours?
Yeah, I have Gridiron Gang. I think
Rock, or Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, it's The Rock. And what I just love about it is he just does such a great job of being a good mentor. I mean, in his roles, and it's based on a true story. Just love it. If you get a chance to watch it, it's an hour or whatever of your life that you will enjoy. It's got, what is it, Exhibit in it, the rapper. He's also from what was that show on MTV where they chop the cars?
Oh, Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. That's like another thing that he was on. But again, I
used to watch that all the time.
So did I. It was like, and you're like, who has these kind of cars? But yes. Whatever. But he was the counselor, and he turned these kids into football players. What's your honorable mention?
So I mentioned Rudy. Rudy is on my honorable mentions list, but we won't dive too deep into it because I know.
It's a good story. I mean, it's a really good story. So
But I'm gonna go with, actually, it's kind of a cheat because I'm including the original and the remake. I'm going with The Longest Yard. I know people shit on the remake with Adam Sandler. I kind of enjoyed it. It's not the original by any means, but I still kind of enjoyed it. I thought it had a great cast, and I thought
that was almost in my top 5, the original. And I think I'm one of those people that kind of shits on it, but the remake, because the original was a 70s classic, and you could just do more. And it was just so bad that it was great. But you know what? Adam Sandler did a good job.
But I love the fact too that Burt Reynolds even came back to be a part of the remake, and
that made it tolerable. I mean, also, in the sense of it was like a nice homage.
Yeah, and also another MTV film production.
Yes, it was.
Because it actually was a nice collaboration, not only with MTV but with WWE.
Right.
Because there are a ton of WWE wrestling superstars in that movie.
Yes, there are.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Nash, the Great Khali, Bill Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
There are,
wasn't Goldberg the was it Steve Austin was the police, the security guy?
Yeah, he was the security guard.
Yeah,
I think I made him shit himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's another one of your honorable mentions?
Well, I'm going with the best Notre Dame video movie, which all Notre Dame fans probably quote every single time. Win one for the Gipper, which is the Newt Rockway All-American, which has Pat O'Brien and our former president, Ronald Reagan. Great movie. If you ever get a chance to at least watch it once, it's worth the watch. And it's a black and white, I
don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my God. It's one of those movies that you have to remember when people talk about different things, old like sayings, that's where these sayings come from. I mean, the speech that Pat O'Brien gives, to do one for the Gipper, and it's amazing. I mean, it's a great watch. Ronald Reagan is George Gipper, and it's great. So,
okay,
what's your next one?
I'm going with one that hits close to home. I'm going with Invincible. Mark Wahlberg and oh man, what the hell's his name?
I try
It,
to not.
it's gonna but Greg Kinnear.
Oh
Kinnear.
yes, Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the head coach.
Yep. And Elizabeth Banks. I know it's not for everybody because there are people out there who hate the Eagles. And there are people out there that hate Mark Wahlberg. If you hate both, you're really screwed. I think it's a great story.
I really like this movie. I hate this movie because of the fact that it was during the time of the worst, absolute worst Giants loss in the history of Giants losses. But in terms of a movie, you can't not love it. I mean, the kid was in the stands and now he's on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
And it's another movie that takes creative.
Oh yeah.
With
but the story is still he was in the stands and he ended up playing.
Yeah.
And which is pretty amazing.
And as somebody from Philadelphia, I have met Vince Papale on numerous occasions.
Oh, you have?
And he is an incredibly nice guy.
And that's what it seemed like.
Nothing like Mark Wahlberg. Not to say Mark Wahlberg is not a nice guy. I don't know, but I've met Vince on a number of occasions, and every time he was incredibly nice.
I want to meet Marky Mark though.
Marky Mark doesn't exist anymore.
I know Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, and I just I play that song all the time, so it's just really sad.
Good vibrations.
Exactly.
So.
All right, another honorable mention for me,
sure.
And if you don't watch this, you're just crazy. It's The Express, and it's the
Express was on my list as well.
Ernie Davis. It's just such a great movie. Rob Brown and Dennis Quaid. I mean, anything with Dennis Quaid when it comes to sports is just hello. It's awesome. It takes place. For those of you who don't know, Ernie Banks is probably one of the greatest Syracuse running backs in the history of football, in college football, and he was following in one of the greatest players ever to play the game, which is Jim Brown. And how he came up. He ends up winning the Heisman and getting married. The whole works. Is diagnosed with leukemia and never plays it down in the NFL. And it's just a heart-wrenching story that is just awesome.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, it's a great pick. I've seen it a couple times, and it really is it's a good movie to be on the list.
What's your next one?
I went with one that I came out in 86, but I did not see it until a little bit later. I think I was maybe like mid 90s when I finally got the opportunity to see it. I'm going with The Best of Times.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I knew you probably were.
I thought it was going to be in your top 5.
It almost was. It really almost was. I mean, it is. When you talk about Robin Williams, who we did a tribute to,
wait, I thought it was Kurt Russell that you like so much.
Oh yeah, it's actually Emmett Walsh or Walsh. Yeah. Okay. That is really the reason why I love it. No, it's Robin Williams, obviously.
Of course.
You talk about Robin Williams being able to do it all and playing any role, and if somebody said he's never been an athlete, well, Best of Times fills that role. And it was actually relatively early on in his career as well. I think he'd only been doing motion pictures for 4 years, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still relatively early on in his career, but it's a fun movie, man. It's just about a bunch of people trying to relive their glory days.
Right.
And it's 2 rival high schools getting back together after they've all moved on from high school to just rehash an old rivalry and play football one more time.
Absolutely.
And it's such a fun movie. So great movie though.
On that wonderful note, I am going to go in the absolute opposite direction. And there's certain movies that this should have been my number 1 or right up there. It's just that it's a hard movie to watch, and that's Brian's Song.
Brian's Song was also in my honorable mentions.
I mean,
which version though?
There's
the
only
original,
one version.
The TV movie?
No. There's only one.
The TV
original
movie.
The original.
Yeah. The TV movie.
Yeah. I mean, with Billy D. Williams and
James Caan.
And James Caan.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such a heartbreaking, true story. Brian Piccolo, Gail Sayers, has terminal illness, dies. But I mean, I've only seen it less than a handful of times. It's because
Me too.
I can't. You just can't. Because it's not one of those feel good movies that you can watch over and over again. And let's just leave it at that. What's your next one?
So I am going with The Water Boy.
That's some serious H2O.
Speaking of Adam Sandler, I mean, this is just, to me, this is a movie during Adam Sandler's heyday. Like, he had Happy Matt, he had Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, The Water Boy, Wedding Singer. Like, this is when he was doing comedies and his comedies were funny.
Yep.
That has since changed a little bit. But he's getting back to it, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
But yeah, Water Boy is just, it's an incredibly stupid movie.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But I think that's what makes it so fun. And
I mean, Kathy Bates was in it and she killed it as the mom.
She was so great as the mom. And Steve as the donkey was just.
Wait, who was the girlfriend?
Fairuza Balk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She was too much.
Yep. Fairuza Balk was in there. And you had Henry Winkler, of course, as well as the coach. It's such a dumb, stupid movie, but dumb in the most fun way. And the movie is incredibly quotable. Incredibly quotable.
Oh my God. Yes. I mean, at the time, people were quoting it left and right. Yeah. You can do it. And everybody still says that. We still say that.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it's from.
I just posted recently on social media about how, like, I'm working out again and going back to the gym post pandemic. And I had like at least 2 or 3 people post the GIF of Rob Schneider saying, "You can do it."
Exactly.
It's incredibly quotable.
It's so much. Again, it's a fun movie. When he's trying to recruit him at the house and they're having an alligator or whatever. And, it's a lot of fun and, feel good story. And,
she showed me her boobies, and I like them too. It's so stupid, but I love it.
Along those same sort of funny lines, but this is kind of an up and down kind of movie. Again, it could have been anybody's top 5, and there's only one real saying to say: "Show me the money."
Show me the money. Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, and
also in my honorable mentions.
Again, it's just such a great movie. I mean, it has one of the greatest. Ending lines. You had me at hello, and the kid was cute. I love when he was drunk and he was having the food and they clinked the spoons, and it just shows how life in sports isn't always glorious. Mm-hmm. And when you're down, you're out, and when you're up, everybody wants you. And he took his little manifest or his mission statement and created himself a business with the assistant that didn't even know what was going on. But, great casting all around. I mean, it really propelled Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career. He got the Academy Award. I mean, there's just so much. Again,
right. He did win the Academy Award for it that year.
And
Renee Zellweger, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was just amazing. Good stuff. And, another good watch. Yeah. What's another one for you?
So I'm going with a football movie that inspired a television show, and that's Friday Night Lights.
Oh, yes.
You want to talk about football in Texas, man. That's the movie to watch.
It was a great show, and it was a great movie.
The show was really well done, incredibly well done. And I wish I would have watched it until the end, but I only watched, I think, maybe the first 3 or 4 seasons. And then for some reason I fell out of it. It's one I really need to go back to.
I need to actually, I never really watched the whole thing. I mean, I watch it sporadically. I need to go and watch it, like you did.
Yeah. It's one I need to go back and restart. I mean, but you look at, Billy Bob Thornton and directed by Peter Berg, who, trying to think of some other movies off the top of my head he's done. I know he did Battleship and which isn't exactly the best example. But I know he is an excellent director.
Right.
So yeah, but there's that. So
Friday
Night Lights. I don't know how many more you have. I have maybe 4 more.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can do that. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, and we might share some of the same ones, but what's another one of your honorable mentions?
One of the ones is another James Caan movie. And that's The Program.
Great movie.
I mean, it's every bad thing that could happen in college on top of every other bad things that could happen in college.
And it is the movie that inspired a trend that literally law enforcement had to come out and say, do not fucking do this.
Which is?
The lying in the street.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's just, I mean, at James Caan, Halle Berry, Omar Epps, Christy Swanson, you know, another one that, you know, is never hard on the eyes. But I mean, it had all sorts of great, every problem. Like I said, there was the steroid use, there was the confused Heisman Trophy quarterback candidate, to everything that's going on, and it was just, it's a slice of life, and unfortunately, it may be a little dramatized for the movies, but all those things happen in programs, and it was just, you know, it was great. I just loved it. A lot of great lines, everything.
Yeah,
so
it's a great movie.
Yes.
So one of my honorable mentions is one that caused John Krasinski to have to shave his Jim Halpert hair for The Office. And that's a movie called, it's a very underrated movie that not many people know about, and it's called Leatherheads.
Yes.
George Clooney, John Krasinski, and Renee Zellweger. It's about football that takes place in 1925.
That was on my list as well.
Was it? Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, it's called Leatherheads because at that time, that's literally what football helmets were.
Right.
They were just leather caps that they put on. There were no face masks or anything like that. But it is such a fun movie.
Right.
There's so many comedic elements to it, and it's just,
it's the football version of Oh Brother Art Thou.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Yeah.
I mean, there's just,
that's a good way to put it, actually.
I mean, it's just, I mean, you know what? People like or don't like George Clooney. I don't know if there's too many people that don't like him, but I mean, he's got this niche, and he's the type of guy, he knows what he's good at, and he stays within his lane.
Yeah.
Except for Batman.
And he directed the movie as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for Batman, right?
Even he doesn't talk about Batman.
Exactly. But you know what? I saw him, he was talking to on one of the actor to actor things, and he even said about Batman, he's like, yeah, we all have our mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but it's a shame because he really, on paper, should have been a great Batman.
Oh yeah, agreed.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, on paper he should have been, but it just, that's a whole nother issue. But
that's a whole nother episode.
Exactly. But Leatherheads is a fun movie, and a lot of great stuff. And yeah, you should definitely, if you get a chance to see it,
it's one worth checking out.
Exactly. My next one kind of goes on both of the genres that you like, and it technically isn't a football movie, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's one of the movies that it really should have had a sequel, and it ended with the sequel, and that's Flash Gordon.
Oh, okay, that was not where my mind was going.
I mean, it's the dumbest movie in the world that I love. It's a guilty pleasure, but it is awesome, and there is football in it. But it's not exactly a football movie.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but all right, I'll take it.
It's on the NFL website as a movie.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
All right. I can't argue with that.
Because it's the only time the New York Jets actually won something besides Namath. So give me a break.
I thought you were going to go with The Last Boy Scout.
Oh no! That is a good point. That is a good one.
It's another one. It's not technically a football movie, but
there's
football in the movie. Because Damon Wayans' character is a football player.
Well, Against All Odds is considered a football movie too, but I don't consider it a football movie.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I'm not saying that it, but I have two more, I think, and
I have three more, so I'll go.
I have three more. I can do three.
Well, no, I was going to say if you have two and I have three, then I'll go you, me,
whatever you want.
Me. Okay. I'm good, and one of my three might be one of your two.
Absolutely.
I'm going with The Blind Side.
That should have been in both of our top fives.
Yeah, the only reason why I couldn't put it in my top five is because I've really only seen the movie twice, and it's been a while since I've seen it. But I do remember finding the movie absolutely amazing when I watched it. Sandra Bullock is just...
Well, she won the Academy Award.
Exactly. She was phenomenal in that movie.
Of course.
And again, another football movie inspired by a true story.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, there's a lot you can say about it. I mean, it's such a. I will say that movie and that whole story does bring up a very interesting dilemma in sports, where you can kind of stack the. I mean, that's what the whole. I mean, part of the movie was the NCAA. Can you stack the deck? And that's kind of an interesting thing, but the moral of that story just goes totally beyond that, and it's just an amazing movie. And I'm a little mad that I didn't think of it. No, I'm just saying in terms of sooner. Yeah. But in terms of my next one, where the heck is it? I had a nice little list, and now where is it?
Way to ruin the rhythm, Alex.
I know, right? I'm like awful. Well, that's what good editing is for, right?
I don't edit stuff out.
I know
my
you
listeners should know that by now.
No, I know
they're hearing all of this.
They're hearing every single bit, baby. And again, I could have had 4 or 5, 6 more. But We Are Marshall.
That's one of the 2 I have left.
Yes. Oh, good. So then I get another one. We Are Marshall, based on that true story of the kids that died in that plane crash. Mm-hmm. Love, I mean, and it's so, again, slice of lifetime. Back then, they didn't have all the films. They didn't have all this other stuff that they have now. I mean, the fact that Ohio State gives them their, playbooks and everything else to kind of help them, recreate everything. Who's the Falcons in it?
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie is in it, and he's just, oh my God.
Yeah, you've got Matthew McConaughey. Yep. And Matthew Fox from Lost.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's just such a great movie, and it's just what I find it's a great it's a great tribute to those guys, and that last speech that Matthew McConaughey gives before they go out there is it's great. So
yeah, I agree. I have one more honorable mention, and I kind of saved this one for last on purpose.
Okay.
Because when you think Oliver Stone, you don't think football.
Yes, it.
But he directed and wrote one of the most intense football movies I have ever seen.
Yes.
And that is Any Given Sunday.
Absolutely.
You've got Pacino, Jamie Foxx, Matthew Modine, James Woods, Dennis Quaid, Lauren Holly, Lawrence Taylor, Cameron Diaz, and Margaret.
Cameron Diaz and Pacino going at it.
Yeah, man. It's, again, it is one of the most intense football movies I've ever seen.
Right. And his speech at the end where you're trying to climb. Oh my God, it's great. It's just such a good movie. And again, I know you've told us listeners this before because this is our top 5. I mean, if we, like you said, if we do this again, our top 5 might be different.
Yeah.
And I just think that's always a problem. I mean,
Any Given Sunday was one that came incredibly close to being in my top 5.
I just have a top. There's not any numbers.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, my last one, it's just a perfect 70s shit show, which is North Dallas 40.
Oh, and God, I haven't seen that in years.
I mean, when you think about folks, if you are under the age of, I guess, 40, if you think stuff was wild now, you have no idea. And this is based on a true story.
That was Nick Nolte, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
And back then, he had a little thing where most of his movies, and I know you'll probably correct me, but a lot of his movies, when he opens the movie, he's always waking up. Like, he had a run of movies where he was just always waking up.
I won't correct you on that. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I mean, I think there's like 3 or 4 movies where he does that. And Mac Davis, the singer / actor, and it's based on a novel from a former cowboy, Pete Gent, and I watched it on VHS. That's how long ago it was.
Do you know who else is in that movie?
Who?
Chunk.
Oh yeah.
Goonies.
Oh yeah.
John Matuzak is in that movie.
I mean, it is just a fucking riot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
It's
just
been
no
a long time since
I mean, you know, it's just a friggin' riot, and I just love it. Now, like I said, you probably could have done another 5 honorable mentions. I probably could have done another 5, but you know what? We gotta actually wrap it up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, and I know you said that before, but you know, it's always fun talking football, especially this time of year when we just started the season, and it's always good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, like you said, we gotta head into that method now where we're gonna wrap things up. So as I do for everybody, and I've done for you before, this is the time. Anything you want to promote of your own or of somebody else's, like any other shows you want to talk about?
Well, I know
Let's hear it.
a guy by Ben Beck is doing like 57 different shows. If you have a chance to like listen to it, you know, and you have the time, you know, he does a pretty good job most of the time, especially when he has like second, you know, or D guests like this guy that's talking right now.
I
But
think
no,
he's kind of full of himself sometimes, but
some kinds, you know, that's why, you know, doors are bigger and stuff. But anyway, but no, I mean, you know, I have a little podcast that I'm kind of redoing and whatever. It's called Field of Screen.
you're retooling right now, which is
Yeah,
fine.
we're retooling, and my love is for this, but you know, talking movies and stuff. But I'm still trying to figure out what I might actually come out with a second podcast and still do the Field of Screen. Things are still up, but I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm doing. But in terms of other podcasts that I watch, you know, we both listen to Jason, Walking Dead Cast, and I love
House Podcastica,
House Podcastica, with their Handmaid's Tale and everything else. And I listen to Aim for the Head as well. So those are 2 great podcasts if you're looking for podcasts.
Well, and House Podcastic, I think, is the one covering What If right now too. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're covering it. It's our friend Jason from Podcastica. He with his podcast House Podcastica. He's covering What If every week, which is the new Marvel animated series. And he just has a bunch of rotating guests every week come on and join him. I know he's had artist Kirk Manley has been on with him before, right. And our friends you know, Rima and Wendy have been on, and I know I'm going to be coming up on an episode as well. I'm going to be guesting with him as well in a couple weeks. So yeah, and it's great. I actually just listened to the latest episode of that today.
The other thing I was just watching recently is that Why Man.
Why the Last Man?
Why the Last Man? And I know Derek is doing a podcast on that. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, oh my God, it's a ride. There's only a couple episodes out. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 out now, and it is just worth every binge that you can do.
His God, and I always get it wrong.
It's TV
Podcast Industries.
Yes,
is Derek's podcast, which is another absolutely wonderful podcast, and he does the same thing. He covers a lot of those science fiction shows and Marvel and stuff like that. Yeah, and they're covering Why the Last Man right now, which is
and yeah, I don't know how they do it because they cover so much stuff. It seems like every day something pops up for a new podcast. I mean, a new episode of something. But yeah, they do a great job. And if you get a chance to listen to that kind of, if you're into that, it's a great podcast to listen to.
Yeah, definitely check out. I think it's available wherever podcasts are available. So
of course.
I think you know, Apple, Spotify. Check out TV Podcast Industries with Derek, because and I can't remember his co-host name for the life of me right now. So Derek, if you're listening, which I know you do, I apologize. Because Derek's actually going to be guesting on an episode of Wilhelm in the near future.
Oh, that's awesome. And he's always brings
we've talked about it. I don't think we figured out which episode yet, but I know it's been discussed.
Well, you got to get the time right because he's on the other side of the pond.
Yeah, it's a bit of a time difference. But that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
As for this podcast, if you like what you hear on the program, be sure to leave a review of the show on whatever podcasting platform you listen on. The more positive reviews that I receive, the more people it helps me reach. So be sure to just leave those reviews when you can if you like what you're listening to. Also, be sure to follow Wilhelm on social media, such as Facebook at facebook.com/the Wilhelm Podcast and at the Wilhelm Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, if you want to be a guest or you have an idea for a topic or theme you want to hear me cover, film franchise, debate, movie you want to hear me take a deep dive into, whatever, you can let me know by messaging me at any of the places that I mentioned, or you can email me directly at the Wilhelm podcast at gmail.com. Just a heads up for some future episodes that are going to be hitting relatively soon. October is going to be Spooktober for Wilhelm. So we're going to be doing, I've got 4 episodes in October. I haven't scheduled them out, but these are the 4 episodes in October. We're going to be doing an episode on the films of Alfred Hitchcock. We're going to dive into the Ghostbusters franchise with the new Ghostbusters movie coming out in November.
I can't wait to see that.
Like, me neither. I'm so excited. Jamie is going to be returning and we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite all-time horror movies. And we're going to be doing the top 5 favorite films featuring witches.
Ooh.
Which should be, no, not witches, vampires. We're doing vampires this year.
Okay.
So top 5 favorite vampire films.
Films, not shows. Films, not shows, right?
Films, not shows. Yes.
Okay.
So Buffy the Vampire. Well, the movie Buffy.
No, I'm right now. I'm a little obsessed with the other current show that's out. So.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh my God, you got me.
So good.
You got me hooked on these friggin' movies. I mean, these shows. I'm like, that's a whole nother podcast. They're the dumbest 3 vampires that I love.
3. There's 4. Don't forget Colin
I'm
Robinson.
not even counting. I forgot. He doesn't even exist.
November, there's going to be a Matrix episode because we're going to be preparing for the new Matrix film coming out in December, which I'm really excited about. And then, of course, in December, we're going to be just doing some holiday themed episodes leading into January, which is James Bond month.
Ooh.
Every episode of the podcast throughout the month of January is going to be focusing on a different actor and their portrayal of James Bond. So we're going to talk about those films from that actor's portrayal of James Bond.
Are you doing every single one?
Every single Bond movie.
Even Peter Sellers?
Peter Sellers wasn't.
No,
you're thinking of George Lazenby.
Oh, he was the first one?
George Lazenby. I don't think George Lazenby was the first. I think Connery was the first, and then there was a break where Lazenby came in, or maybe Lazenby was the first.
No,
I don't know.
What was the first Bond movie? Non serious Bond, but it was a spoof.
Oh, it was Casino Royale with Lazenby. Yeah. So yeah, I guess
okay, it was Lazenby. I messed up. I thought it was Peter Sellers for some reason. I don't know why.
No, Peter Sellers was the Pink Panther.
That's it. Yes,
the Pink Panther. So yeah, some a lot of episodes coming up, and in March, it was actually supposed to be recorded this past weekend, but unfortunately, the event got postponed. It got postponed to March. In March, I will be doing a live episode of the Wilhelm podcast at the Fandemic Convention in Atlanta with special guest Ross Marquand.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome.
I cannot wait. And we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite zombie movies, which is appropriate because he's on The Walking Dead. So,
absolutely.
A lot of great stuff coming up for Wilhelm in the future. So be sure to subscribe if you don't already. It's available wherever podcasts. Obviously, you're listening to it, so you know. But Alex, thank you for coming back again.
Oh, thank you. I always enjoy podcasting with you, and anytime you need a guest, I'm always here.
Yeah, and this won't be the last time you'll be on.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure, this won't be the last time you'll be on.
Yeah, I got to get you. Before I retool, I think we need to get you on, and we need to do the same thing on my side. On do a top something for some sports movies, because I know you're a fan of. I think do they even have hockey in Philly?
Oh
still?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
There are hockey movies.
I figured there was. I didn't know if there was the Philly fans were still in hockey.
Hey.
As a Ranger fan, hey, I got nothing right now. So, you know, I just wish there was ice.
The funny thing is, I'm not even I'm a hockey fan.
I know what your real team is.
I'm a Devils fan.
I know, and it kills me because
I'm from New Jersey,
so awesome.
and I apologize to any listener who might be offended by that. Please don't go anywhere.
I mean, as a New Jersey fan, as a Ranger fan, it's just like, ugh. But that's a whole nother podcast.
I was born in New Jersey, man. I'm a Devils fan.
I know. We all have our crosses to bear. But,
exactly.
Thank you so much again for letting me, come on and help you out with these movies, because it was exactly what I needed.
Good.
In terms of a good time.
Good. Glad to hear it. It's a mental cleanse.
Yes, it
is. Or
is.
A mental escape. kind of get away from everything for a while. But to all the listeners out there, thank you for listening. Thank you all for the great feedback you guys send me every week. It's so greatly appreciated, and I'm happy you guys are enjoying the show. But until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Wilhelm. Take care.
Bye-bye.